Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me, AndyB, and I recently just got back into collecting. Now, I say back into collecting because in 2016, after amassing quite a big collection of video games, Blu-rays, comic books, etc., I had an apartment fire, and I lost 99% of everything I owned, and I didn't have renter's insurance. So, yeah, I decided to take a break from collecting for a couple of years. The Switch came out in 2017, and I made my entire personality the Nintendo Switch and loving the Nintendo Switch. I have a YouTube channel for it and everything. You can like this video right now if you love the Nintendo Switch and subscribe to the channel for more. But I took a couple years off because I was just traumatized, right? Just losing everything and not having the means to get it all back. I mean, like literally thousands of dollars, probably like tens of thousands of dollars. Not even an exaggeration. I was collecting for a very long time. And so I took a break, an extensive break. And then I kind of got back into it, but then I kind of sold some stuff because I didn't have money and things like that. But then now fast forward to 2022, I have a little extra money and, I don't buy them all the time. But if I find a good deal, I like to collect things. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to collect Nintendo Switch games. I'm going to keep track of the games that I have. And I am going to catalog the games and kind of, go through and find some things that I've been missing since 2017 and kind of start buying back some of my old stuff while continuing my new collection. So this video is just going to be me kind of going through some of the things I have. It's not only just going to be about my Nintendo Switch games, but some of my little trinkets and stuff like that, because some people over on TikTok actually have noticed some stuff that I have in the background, like this Shantae behind me, and we're asking questions about it. So I'm going to use this video to kind of go over some of my other cool things that I have, like my cute little Shantae and my Final Fantasy IX Collector's Edition right next to her. So, without further ado, I guess what we'll do is we'll start from the top. I don't really know how to do this. I've never really done one of these types of videos before, but we'll just kind of go through some of these. Here's some of my like bigger boxes that I've collected game-wise. So we're gonna start off with the games, okay? So this is Nintendo Switch Sports. It's the one that comes with the knee or the leg brace, the leg strap. I'm gonna be honest with you, I never used it. My wife and I played the game. We liked it. We're waiting for golf to come out. It is fun. It's cool. But I found the collector's edition. I'm saying collector's edition. It's not a collector's edition. It just comes with an accessory. I found it at a GameStop for a relatively cheaper price. So I was like, you know what? Why not? I wanted the game. My wife wanted to play it, so we bought it. That's literally the end of that. So moving on, we have, of course, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. We have the double pack. I did have the Sword and Shield double pack, but that was kind of like I said earlier, where I didn't have a lot of money, so we had to like sell some things and stuff like that. So that was unfortunate. And this is it's cool because they always do these now, like they have the Scarlet Violet one coming out here soon, which looks incredible. I can't wait for those games. But this one, it came with an additional 100 Pokeballs in the game, a little code, which I haven't used. Maybe if you comment on the video telling me you'd like the code, I can give it to you if I still have it. It might still be in this box, I don't know. But it also came, I don't know if you can see it on camera. I might be able to zoom in on these guys. But it came with Dialga and Palkia cool little pins. Those pins are actually pretty good quality, and I wear them on my flannel, and I have been since the game's launched in 2021. Yeah. Now, moving on to my Pride and Joy, we'll go more in depth on this one in a little bit, probably towards the end because this is a big box, but Metroid Dread. Quite honestly, the best Nintendo Switch game, period. It's not only my favorite Metroid game, but I still think it's one of the best experiences on the Nintendo Switch. And it also released right alongside with the Switch OLED, but we'll talk a little more about that later. And again, we'll talk about the collector's edition of that because I have that as a showcase from it. So these next two games are some of my newer games that I picked up in September. I haven't got anything yet in October, but the month's still early. We've got Bayonetta 3 coming out. No Man's Sky came out this month. A couple other things came out too that are on my radar. Nier came out as well. Diofield Chronicles, that came out last month. But still, two games that came out in September that I picked up. These are my newest ones to the collection. I have the BioShock Collection, and I have the Wonderful 101 Remastered. So, BioShock Collection, fun story about that. It's great. It looks awesome. Plays fantastic. Honestly, it doesn't even look like a Switch game. It looks exactly like it does on the Xbox One. I'm not exaggerating. I booted up all three. I don't like BioShock, though. So I found that at a GameStop for really, really dirt cheap, aka free, because of rewards points and stuff like that. So I picked it up. I don't even like the games, but yeah, I couldn't pass it up. It was a really, really good deal. You know, that's a lot of these games you'll find I just got on a really good deal. But thought it was cool. I hadn't seen it in the wild. You know, I prefer buying games physically, first of all, and I also prefer buying them in person if I can. I try to avoid online buying unless it's something like the Metroid Dread collection. Obviously, that was ordered online. But BioShock, it popped out one day, and I was like, whoa, I'm gonna get that. Now, the Wonderful 101 Remastered was a game that actually was on one of my actual lists of games that I wanted to get. And if you've never played this game, the Wii U version or the Switch version, this game is freaking incredible. It's developed by Platinum Games, which they're kind of under fire right now for a lot of stuff. We'll get to that here in a minute. But the game's freaking great, dude. And it runs phenomenally on the Nintendo Switch. Like, I was so impressed with how well that ran. And again, another game that was on my list that I found in Wild. So, in the wild, like it's a random encounter. Just bear with me. So moving along, this one, Mario Party Superstars. We should make a count. So that was 1, 2, 3. I'm counting Pokemon as 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is number 7, game number 7. So my wife and I, we were at GameStop, just looking around. I was looking for something else, and she saw that. Was like, hey, let's get it. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, of course. You want to spend money on video games? Yeah, I want to spend money on video games. So our friend was letting us use his online, you know, we were sharing accounts on the Nintendo, and he had it digitally. So we were playing it through there, and he changed his password, stuff like that. We had a little bit of a falling out, unfortunately, and so I don't have access anymore. So she was really bummed. We both were. We loved playing Mario Party Superstars. Not to be confused with Mario Party that came out, I think it was like last year, the one that it was like more like you had to use the Joy-Cons. That one kind of sucks. This one's really, really fun. So, you know, she saw it. She was like, let's get it. And I was like, yeah, of course. Let's do it. Moving along, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, number 8. So this, it's Peggy 12. My brother, John Bongeller, over on TikTok, you should go follow him if you haven't. He makes a lot of really great and funny videos. In fact, one of his most recent TikToks was about the Mario movie, where he actually said that Chris Pratt's Mario sounds a lot like Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers. And if you haven't seen Bob's Burgers, or if you don't know the voice, just go watch his TikTok, John Bongeller over at TikTok. It's actually absolutely hysterical. So he bought that for me for my birthday, which was in September. The game had launched in July. I hadn't picked it up yet. He hit me up on Discord and was like, hey, don't buy it. And I'll go, why? And he goes, why do you think? I go, oh, okay, fair enough. And then one day at my doorstep, I got the non-American version of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which is cool. You know, I like some of those Peggy 12 games. So moving right along to games 9 and 10, we have Bayonetta 1. Oh, I guess this was technically a September release as well. I can put it a part of my recently picked up. Probably should have done that. My apologies. But it plays into a story. So here's Bayonetta 1. This just recently came out. I still have it sealed. It is the first time this game was released in the West. It was originally only in Japan. The only way to get it prior was if you had Bayonetta 2 with the digital download code. So I bought Bayonetta 2 on Amazon, I think in like August, and it was actually only like $40. Drop that. It was only like $40 at the time. If you go to Amazon right now, the game's like $70, and I think it's because Bayonetta 3 is coming out. So I now have Bayonetta 1 and 2, and I have 3, the Masquerade edition, the collector's edition, pre-ordered at GameStop, so I'm gonna be picking that up. But therein lies the problem. I don't know if you guys saw, but the original voice actor of Bayonetta wasn't coming back. She didn't come back to voice Bayonetta and Bayonetta 3, and originally Platinum Games said it was because of scheduling issues. Well, today on, what's today's date? I think it's the 15th? Yeah. On October 15th, she actually tweeted out saying that it was because they only offered her $4,000 for a couple months worth of work. That's not really a lot of money considering she is Bayonetta, and you know, if it wasn't for the character being this larger-than-life character, I don't think Bayonetta would be as popular as it is. People really resonate with that character. They love the character Bayonetta, and she was a phenomenal voice actress. I gotta give it to her. So them just kind of only offering her $4,000 was kind of a slap in the face, and Twitter, in the video game Twitter world, is completely torn on this because so many people are like, I'm boycotting it, stuff like that, which I don't personally think that's a good idea. And the reason is just because, well, there's a lot of people that worked on the game, right? And just because the dudes at the top of Platinum Games suck doesn't mean the people at the bottom suck too. A lot of people put a lot of really hard work over the last, 5 or 6 years this game's been in development. And so for us to just completely disregard all of their hard work just so one person can feel validated, I feel I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me. The situation sucks. I completely, I 100% agree with that, but I just don't think we should penalize everybody involved because those two are, fighting right now. The voice actress and Platinum Games. Sorry, I forgot where I was going with that. So anyway, next up, I think this is number 10 or 11. I think it's 10. We have, actually, it'd be 10 and 11. Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII Remastered, Peggy 16. So these are on my list of games that I wanted to pick up because I love Final Fantasy. I've got Final Fantasy 9, I got Zidane, however you pronounce it. I just recently on a podcast, Super Gains Bro, Matt, he brought me along to talk about, on his podcast, Box Trick, he brought me along to talk about my top 3 favorite RPGs, and one of my top 3 was Final Fantasy IV. If you want to know more about my top 3 favorite RPGs, you can go over to anywhere you can find Super Gains Bros, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, all over the place. Look for his video game podcast, Box Trick. Go check that out. But yeah, I couldn't pass it up. I wanted to collect all of the Final Fantasy games for the Nintendo Switch, and it started at 7. So this was cool because it's a twin pack, so I knocked them out both at the same time. 7, 8 is available. 9, I own digitally. I don't own that physically, but I want to pick that up still probably from PlayAsia to get that really nice, artwork for the sleeve. But also 10, 10, 2 are on there, and so is 12. So I've got a couple more to pick up. Moving right along to number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13! Oh my gosh, 13. This is Dragon Quest 12, Echoes of an Elusive Age S Definitive Edition. I got this because I'm a really big fan of RPGs. That's mainly what this channel is an RPG Nintendo channel. And a lot of YouTubers that I follow talked this game up tremendously, like Dreamcast Guy and OJ from Player Essence, stuff like that. They said it's one of the best RPGs in a long time, especially on the Switch. And I love the artwork. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. And I know it's the same artist that drew Dragon Ball Z anime and stuff like that and mangas. And he did the art for almost all of the Dragon Quest games. I haven't actually started this yet because it came in at a time where I had a lot of stuff on my plate. But I am eventually going to get to it because I love RPGs. So moving on. I already lost track again. Hold on. Un momento, por favor. 14. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. The second best game, I believe, that is available on the Nintendo Switch. I'm going to do a top 5 best games on Nintendo Switch video soon, I promise. Because this thing is a master. I mean, there's masterpiece games on this freaking console. I can't talk. But Fire Emblem 3 Houses goes without question. Fire Emblem is literally my second or third. It can kind of switch up and down. Favorite franchise, series, whatever, on Nintendo. Like, we've got Pokemon's number 1, and then these two can switch, Final Fantasy and Fire Emblem, literally any day of the week. Doesn't really matter. They're both like right up there. And then it's Metroid. I made a whole entire video. I did a review. You can check that down in the link below. I'll put it in there in the bio. I love this game so much. It's a perfect 10 out of 10, honestly. And it took me a long time to get there, but I love it. Thank you so much, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Moving along, Pokemon Legends Arceus coming in at number 15. This game blew me away. So again, I mentioned earlier, I love Pokemon so much. And I've been in the camp of wanting it to kind of broaden their horizons and go into a different way, kind of get out of their norm and experiment with new things. And that's exactly what this game did. It's completely different than any Pokemon game we've ever had, and a lot of people really enjoyed that. But it was also limiting at the same time because it was like the first dawn of Pokemon. So you're going out there and it's not really battling trainers and Elite Four, gym leaders, etc. It's you just going out there battling wild Pokemon, capturing them to build the new Pokedex, or to build a Pokedex. Because before you, no one's ever really been able to capture and tame Pokemon. So it's a really cool like Origins style thing, and it's got a really cool story. Introduced a couple of new Pokemon, some Hisuian forms, stuff like that, and I'm really looking forward to seeing if they ever make another Pokemon Legends game, because this game sold really freaking well. So that was cool. Moving on to one of my most hot takes for Nintendo Switch, and if you've been following the channel for a little while, you'll know that number 16, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, is one of my least favorite Legend of Zelda games, right up there with Spirit Tracks. I don't like the open world Legend of Zelda games. I don't like the lack of dungeons. I didn't like the 4 divine beasts. I didn't like the shrines. I don't like the breakable items. sue me. I'm sorry, okay? I'm not! Actually, I lied to you. I'm not sorry. I don't care. I have an opinion, and you can just eat it. I think the game has some potential. I think it's a lot of fun. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous, especially being a game that was originally designed on the Wii U. So guess what? This is a port. Yeah, I said it. I said it before, too. It's a port. It's a freaking port. Just like almost every great Switch game. It's a port. They're all ports. But yeah, this game, it has potential. I'm looking forward to Tears of the Kingdom, the next one, the sequel of Breath of the Wild. I just hope they kind of implement some different things into it. But I'm going to get it, I'm going to play it, and probably not beat it. Like, I didn't beat Breath of the Wild. I know how it ends. I've watched it on YouTube. I've seen friends play it. Please don't yell at me in the comments. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I also did a review of this game over here on the channel. I'll link that in the description below as well. This is my 17th game, and I have nothing but great things to say about this game. Another freaking phenomenal game on the Nintendo Switch, coming out of left field. You know, Hal's Games with Sakurai really just stepped it up and delivered one of the best Kirby experiences we've had in a long time. And we've got more Kirby games coming down the line, so I'm so excited for this Kirby revival. This game also just sold really, really well. It's awesome. Love to see it. Let's bring it more. So we got another really cool port. Actually, it's not a port. It's a remake, remaster sort of situation. Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition. This is game number 18. This is also one of those great RPGs that everybody talks about, that it came from the PS1 era. You know, it's closely tied with Chrono Trigger. I'm not really sure how. I never actually really played through Chrono Trigger or even Chrono Cross. I started this on the Switch, but I was in the middle of doing something as well, and had a lot of dialogue, and I just wasn't able to pay attention at the time. So eventually, when things slow down sometime, hopefully next year with Switch releases and my, you know, like the timeline of them coming out and stuff like that, I can take a break and boot this up and start playing it, because everybody says it's awesome. But I also kind of heard this version sucks though, so that's still disappointing. I got this from PlayAsia, stuff like that. It's awesome. I'm looking forward to playing more of that. Moving right along, the number, is it 18 or 19? I don't remember. I'll have the number written on the screen. Triangle Strategy. Oh man, Team Asano, Square Enix, the two HD 2D games, the legendary combination of Square Asano, Square Enix, I can't talk, and Team Asano blew me away again. You know, I had Octopath Traveler. I have Bravely Default 2, but it's digitally. I wish I had the physical. But I absolutely love that team that makes these games. They're freaking so good at what they do, both storytelling, art design, graphics, everything about them is phenomenal. And this is one of the best strategic RPGs, you know, out there. Or not strategic, yeah, strategic RPGs like Fire Emblem, stuff like that. Really great, awesome story. Highly recommend playing through Triangle Strategy. It is definitely going up there in one of the best RPGs on the Switch, hands down. So these next two games are really fun. I fell in love with this series on the Vita, okay? So this is Shantae, this is number 19 and 20. This is Shantae, Risky's Revenge, Director's Cut, and just the original Shantae. So these are ports. I think they were both originally on the Game Boy or Game Boy Advance, something like that. I'm a fake fan. I know I just said how much I freaking love the series. But yeah, so these were ported over, you know, in limited run, put them both out. They're fantastic little fun, you know, side-scrolling adventure games. The reason why I said I fell in love with it on the PS Vita was because I originally played Shantae Half Genie Hero. I was out with a friend and we went to a GameStop and I just randomly saw it. It was like the collector's edition for the Vita, and I was like, oh, I want more Vita games. It's only $40. It came with like a CD and stuff like that, and I was like, I need this. The artwork just really, you know, called to me and stuff like that. Fun fact, it's one of the only like 3 games I've ever platinumed ever. So loved it. It eventually got ported over to the Nintendo Switch with a really cool collector's edition. This goes back into the story from earlier where I had a bunch of games and I lost them, sold them, stuff like that. Really wish I still had that, because the collector's edition was a nice yellow box, stuff like that. It's really, really cool. But I love the Shantae games. I have her right behind me. We'll go into her here in a minute. That's another game that I own. And then we have House of the Dead remake for the Nintendo Switch. I love on-rail shooters. They are so much fun to play. You just turn your brain off, play with a friend. The gyro controls are awesome using the Switch. It's really good with the Joy-Cons, everything about it. It's literally fantastic. In fact, I on the back of my Switch, I put the stickers of this game. I made a TikTok showing off some of the stuff that they have. You can follow me on TikTok, AndyB Plays. And I have some of the standees up here on my shelf, which you can't really see right now, but I fell in love with this remake of The House of the Dead. I remember my brother and I playing a lot of The House of the Dead on the Wii. The game was awesome, so much fun. And then also, you know, at arcades and stuff like that. You can remember sometimes you would find them randomly at like a Walmart. Like we have a Walmart around us that has it, and it's like, this is cool. This is dope. So those are my physical games, and I think I had the count wrong. I'm gonna do it one more time. Leave a comment below how many times I've counted my games. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I only have 22 physical games, unfortunately. I have a bigger library of digital games as well. I wish all of those were physical, but those are my games. So before we get into the Metroid Dread Special Edition, let's go over some of my like smaller things that I have. You can see I have from my wife, actually. This is something that she bought before we were together. It's the Mario Kart 8 Wii U. I know that Scott the Woz put out a video showcasing all of his boxes of games that he has, like special edition Wii U's and stuff like that. And I was like, that's a really cool idea. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put mine up on my shelf. I really enjoy it. I love the Wii U, actually. I was just playing it last night. I loaded up 2 games. I started playing through Legend of Zelda Minish Cap, which is my second favorite Legend of Zelda game. And I also started playing through Fire Emblem The Blazing Blade, the first Fire Emblem game that came out in the West, 2003 on the Game Boy Advance. Both of those were available that I, a couple years ago on the Virtual Console, rest in peace, and I bought those, and now I can play them whenever I want, because the Wii U rules, and the Switch for some reason still doesn't have Game Boy Color, and or Game Boy Advance games. Please, for the love of God, come to the Nintendo Switch Online. So yeah, that's that. I have Star Wars The Original Trilogy just sitting here right here and just hanging out on VHS. I found it at a garage sale for like $1. Why not? And then, like I said, I made a video on my TikTok. So this is the Shantae and the 7 Sirens. It's this little like figure, the little plush that I got at a Best Buy. They had like, the box was like kind of messed up. I don't even know where, but it was like being sold for cheaper because the box, like I don't even see anything. Like there's a little bit of wear and tear like right here and stuff, but I really didn't understand why. But I was like, they had it for cheap, and it comes with a digital download of the game. So I guess, would you count that as a physical game? I don't think so. I mean, it's a physical plush, but yeah, so I have that as well. Another fantastic Shantae game. That thing is really cool. And this I've had, actually, this is something that survived the fire. Remember how I said 99% of my stuff? This was one of the things that survived. It's actually this really cool Japanese imported Final Fantasy IX figure of Zidane, whatever. It's a little like chibi guy. It came with 2 bodies, and you can put items. He can hold his signature daggers. He can hold another item. There's 2 different daggers on here, and then he's got different faces that you can put on there, stuff like that. So I love this thing. I've had it forever, like probably since like 2009. Love that. I got a box of Pokemon cards right here. You can't really see it, it's off frame, but that just kind of chills there. My Nintendo Switch OLED with an Apple sticker on it, because I'm not original and I saw Bob Wolf do it and I thought that was cool. And we just recently got a MacBook, so I was like, I'm gonna put that on there. I like Apple. I'm actually recording this on an iPhone. I have an Apple iWatch, or an Apple Watch, and I have AirPods. Anyway, moving on. I got this with Dread because I had to have everything Dread. It's the only amiibos that I still have. So that actually plays into what I was talking about earlier, where I had a giant collection. I have almost every single amiibo that was available in the West at the time in 2016. All of them were gone in that fire. All of them. I had a nice like shelf for them and everything. It looked really, really nice. So I told myself I wasn't going to buy any more amiibos ever again after that, but I saw the Metroid Dread collection and I saw the amiibos coming out with it, and I was like, okay, I got to get that. I'm trying to think. I think that's really about it, besides, actually, I got a couple more things that survived the fire, if you want to know. This Scarlet Witch. You can tell she's kind of charred, so you know that I'm like not lying. So there's that. Hold on 1 second. We're going to cut all this out here, and I'm back. So over here we have little Rowlett. Hi! Love that boy. One of my only redeeming things of nope, I lied to you. It's from X and Y. I don't know Pokemon. Or is it from Sun and Moon? I think it's Sun and Moon. I'm such a fan. Oh my gosh. So one more thing that survived the fire is this really cool bender that my brother gave me one time. I don't know. moved out of our dad's house when we lived together. But yeah, he's seen some better days. You kind of see he's been beat up again. He survived a fire. There was a cigar in his mouth. You can like wind. You used to be able to wind him up. It does not move now. It's really crusty and gross. But I thought it was cool, so I just kept it over the years. And then last but not least, we have the Metroid Dread Collector's Edition. So for those who don't know, the Metroid Dread Collector's Edition, in addition to a haunting steel game case, this edition includes the game card, 5 high-quality art cards with key art for each 2D Metroid game, and a 190-page art book spanning all 5 entries in the 2D Metroid saga. So that's my collection of physical Nintendo Switch games and some other kind of cool things that I have just lying around on my shelf. I have, like I said, much more on, digital. If you want to become my friend on the Nintendo Switch, just shoot me a comment, let me know, and I will reply to each one with my friend code. We can exchange, play some games, Smash Bros. One of the games I have digitally, Mario Kart 8 digitally. I know, I hate myself too. But yeah, if you like these kind of videos, let me know. Like the video. Comment below. Maybe in the next couple of months, like in October and November with games coming out, I can do another update on some of the games that I just recently picked up, stuff like that, or even some games that I've been playing, because there's quite a few. I'm jumping in between quite a few right now, like Wonderful 101, stuff like that. And then I mentioned earlier on the Wii U, like Minish Cap and Legend of Zelda. Nope, that is Minish Cap. I'm sorry, I'm tired. So thank you guys so much for watching the video, and as always, I will catch you in the next one.